Welcome to a DIY shadow box and travel album tutorial. I'm Shari Filamahala here at the Graphic 45 headquarters, and I am so excited to show you what we're creating with our PS I Love You collection. So the first thing we're going to create with our album kit is this gorgeous DIY shadow box. You can see we're just going to take a few chipboard sheets and these gorgeous papers and ephemera and just hurry and whip up this shadow box that fits the travel album perfectly. But this would also be so great on a shelf with, you could put an LED tea light in there, you could put a photo back there for a frame, or you could even use this as a shadow box, adding even more fun dimensional goodies in there. And then this travel album, you get the Graphic 45 pre-made album, and then we are going to decorate that up, adding in a few of our own pockets and some gorgeous inserts. Great for photos to keep track of your year. I would love to hear how you want to use this planner. You could use it as a daily journal. You could use it as a planner for 2024. You could use it as some art inspiration. However you want to use it, as a mini album, we would love to hear. Both of these projects have been created for us by Maria Cole. And of course, you can pick up this kit, our Volume 8 album kit, on our website at g45papers.com, as well as at your local scrapbook retailer. So we encourage you to grab your supplies and follow along with this tutorial to learn so many great techniques, including how to create a box from scratch. We're going to create some more fun inserts that'll be great for all your mini albums, planners, and travel albums. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is create our shadow box out of black chipboard sheets. So I've got a 12 by 12 piece here, and my largest piece that we're going to cut is going to be 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. And then I'm going to have these two pieces that are 2 1/4 by 9 1/4, and these two that are 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. For step 2, we're taking Always and Forever, and we've cut this to be 9 3/4 by 11 1/2. Now we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score this on the 9 3/4 side at 2 1/4 and 7 1/2. And then rotate this. So we've got our top at the 0 mark, and we are on the 11 1/2 inch side, and we are going to score this at 2 1/4. Now we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So I've got the top of my paper, and I'm going to score those or cut those vertical lines down to my 2 1/4 line here. Step 3, we've got our second sheet of Always and Forever, and we've cut this to be 9 3/4 by 4 1/2. And then we're going to do our scoring again at 2 1/4 and 7 1/2. And then rotate this. So I've got your top at 0 again, and score this at 2 1/4. Now we're going to cut again, and this time we're going to cut from the bottom lines. So cut your vertical lines on the bottom to our 2 1/4 score line. So go ahead and fold on all those score lines. So we're going to be working with our words side up, and I've added adhesive to our smaller piece on the top. So making sure everything is right side up, I'm just going to adhere this to the bottom of our larger piece, creating our little extended paper. And just make sure everything is flush and going to line up with your score lines and the paper. We're going to take that 5 1/4 by 9 1/4 large chipboard piece, add adhesive to one of the sides, and this is going to adhere right in the center of your text paper. And since we have those nice score lines, it's easy to find the center. Now we're gonna flip this over and go ahead and burnish out any air pockets or bubbles. So go ahead and fold on those crease lines and add your adhesive to your 2 1/4 by 9 1/4 chipboard pieces, and these are going to adhere just on those long vertical sides, making sure it's all lining up with our big base piece. And then do the same with our other piece. And then we're going to repeat that process for our 2 smaller top and bottom pieces as well. Now to put our box together, I'm just going to trim my tabs slightly on an angle. So you end up with 4 tabs that look like this. And then we're going to add adhesive to our tabs. And adhere these down at a 45-degree angle. And do the same with all 4 until you have a lovely box. Step 6, we've got our large piece of Happily Ever After that's been cut to 5 3/8 by 9 3/8. And then we've got 2 vertical pieces that are 2 1/4 by 9 1/4 and 2 more that are 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then adhere your sides on. Step 8, locate your second sheet of chipboard, and we're going to cut this one to be 5 3/8 by 9 3/8. And then we've got 2 more pieces that are going to be 2 3/8 by 9 3/8. For step 9, we're going to find our third sheet of chipboard, and we're going to cut this to 5 3/8 by 9 3/8. And then we're going to cut out a template for our window, and we're going to cut out this piece to be 3 inches by 7 inches. And that we will just center right on our chipboard, and then trace that with a pencil or anything that will show up on this black chipboard. And then you can take your paper trimmer where you can drop down your blade and cut out your frame. If you don't have a paper trimmer like this, just use an X-Acto knife and a ruler. Step 10, we're going to cut Happily Ever After to be 12 inches by 9 3/8. Then flip this over, and then we're going to take our cut out chipboard piece and find the center approximately, and then go ahead and trace your frame. And then using your X-Acto or your paper trimmer, trim that out. And of course, when you're trimming that out, just trim it out just a touch larger than where you traced. Then adhere your chipboard piece down after you've trimmed out your frame, and then save this piece for later. So before we adhere our side pieces on, we're just going to take our bone folder and go against the edges of our cut chipboard piece. That's going to help everything stretch and move around our chipboard once we adhere this down. Working with one side at a time, I'm going to adhere this down, leaving just about a 1/16 of an inch of space between my 2 chipboard pieces. Making sure that it's flush with the top and bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. Follow those same steps on the other side. And then we'll take our bone folder and get the edges here next to our chipboard edges, and then fold those up. And then we're going to take our larger piece and start to adhere this down. So I'm just going to add adhesive to this leftover tab here. just leaving that tiniest bit of room between my chipboard pieces. Add adhesive to the other side. Clean up any excess adhesive, and then let's check to make sure this fits inside. And there you have it. We've got a nice snug fit. If things are fitting a bit too snug, you might have a little too much paper on one of your edges, so you can go ahead and trim that down. So I'll trim it down, and then using a nail file, you can smooth it out. And if you have any coordinating inks, this will be a great time to ink those edges. This classic black ink pad came with the PS I Love You card kit this month, so if you are a member to both, you'll be getting this as well, and you can use this to ink up any imperfections and just make things pop a little better. Locate that large piece that is 5 3/8 by 9 3/8 of Happily Ever After, and we're going to adhere this down. Do not adhere that piece to the back here. This box part should be empty, and it should just have the decorative papers on the sides. From your PS I Love You ephemera pack, you're going to find the following pieces: these 2 stamps, florals, banner, heart, and then this clock that we're going to cut right in half. Using some liquid adhesive, we are going to add some adhesive to the bottom half, about an inch of the clock. And that's going to go in the bottom center of our shadow box. The second half is going to go on the opposite side on the top. Once you find the placement you like for your flowers, just go ahead, put your finger behind where it will be hanging off the top. So we know we don't want to put adhesive on that section there, just on this bottom, and this will adhere straight onto our box. And there you have it. We have finished our gorgeous shadow box. So let us know in the comments below what you're going to do with yours. Are you going to store your travel album in there, or are you going to use this as a home decor piece? Next, we're going to take our pre-made album and we're going to doll it up with these gorgeous papers. Step 16, we're taking 2 pieces of Scent with Love that are going to be 4 3/4. Step 16, we're taking Scent with Love and we're cutting it into 2 pieces that are 4 3/8 by 6 7/8. And then we've got Key to My Heart that we've cut into 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 6.5. Using your adhesive of choice, I'm using art glitter glue, we're going to center and adhere these on top. Step 17, we are going to embellish our front cover of our travel journal. So we're taking our border stickers. You can trim these to fit when you're using them, or we can cut them now to be 4 3/8 of an inch long. And we're gonna have 2 of each of those. And then we're gonna take this Love Cut Apart from the PS I Love You signature and this PS I Love You long bouquet that we're going to cut into 2 pieces. Let's grab our travel journal, and we're going to go ahead and take off our elastic right now. So just pull that out from the back inside, and we'll start working on our cover. So the first thing I want to put down are these scalloped border stickers. And I want everything to be about 1/4 of an inch from the edges and the bottom. Now we can work our way up from there. So this is just going to go flush right on top of our scallop sticker piece and all the way up. And then cap it off with this border sticker. Adhere that love cut apart down, and then we are going to adhere our little floral bouquet pieces on a diagonal on the top and bottom of our corners. And we're adhering everything just flat onto our cover. That way it's going to fit lovely in our box, as well as if you're using this as a travel album, it will also fit nicely in your purse without any of the pieces getting torn off on your travels. That's it for our front cover. So our back cover, we're going to follow that same design. So just taking our scallop sticker and adhering that about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and sides. Then before we adhere this down, we need to punch out our holes where our grommet is here. So just placing this where you want it to go, and then taking a bone folder, we can just trace around there. So I have this nice indentation. Now I know where to punch my hole. So I'm going to use my crocodile and just punch the largest hole you have. So you can use this or any kind of circle punch you have that's going to work here. So adhere that down and then add your border sticker. And then we're going to just replace our elastic. And now we can close this up, and we have completed the front and back cover. Step 20, we have Romantic Reverie. We've cut 2 pieces to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I have rounded the top on my left on this one and on my right on this one. And then I've punched my hole, this time just marking up 4 inches from the bottom and 3/4 of an inch from the right hand edge, just punching a hole there. I jumped the gun on putting that elastic back in, so take that back out and then line up your piece inside your pocket with that hole going right over the hole on the inside, and adhere this inside your pocket. Now we can take that elastic and put it back. Step 21, we're taking Key to My Heart, and we've cut out 2 pieces to be 2 1/2 by 4 inches and 2 pieces to be 4 3/8 by 2 3/4. And then we're going to round one of the left hand bottom edges and one of the right hand bottom edges, and then grab 4 ephemera hearts. Adhere those rounded corner pieces to the bottom inside of your pockets. Then adhere your ephemera hearts. Cut out these 2 cut aparts from the PS I Love You signature page. And then we're going to take 2 tickets and we're going to create a little pull tab on our photo mats here. Just match up those matching stickers. So now we can add a great little photo or a sentiment back here. And then we'll do the same with this other one. Add these to your pockets. Step 23, we're going to take You and Me, and we're going to cut out 2 pieces that are 6 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to round all 4 of those corners and then score this on the 6-inch side, both pieces at 3 inches. And then fold on those creases. Take those Key to My Heart papers we cut earlier and adhere these to the inside of our little photo folders. And then we're going to take some stamps and add these as a little pull tab. We're just doing them on the inside for now, and then we'll add the outside one after we add our outside paper. So this is what the inside of those should look like for now. Step 24, we're taking 2 pieces of Happily Ever After that have been cut to 2.5 by 4.5, and we're going to round those right hand edges. And this will adhere right on the front of our little photo mat folder. And then we'll take those coordinating stamps and match it up with our inside stamp. And then tuck those in to the cover of your album. Next, we're going to remove our little travel journals. So they're put in there with elastics, so you can replace these anytime you need. You can just simply make your own. You could use whatever graphic 45 papers you wanted to make a little something special, but it's always fun to have these. So we're going to take all 3 of those out so we can decorate them. Step 26, we've taken Key to My Heart, and we've cut out 2 pieces that are 3 7/8 by 8 inches, and then round all 4 of those corners. And those are going to adhere on your front and back of one of your journals. Locate this ephemera and add some foam adhesive, and this is just going to pop right on the front of our album. And then take your I Love You Forever sticker and just stick that on the back. We're going to do the same with the other 2 notebooks. So we've cut pieces to be 3 7/8 by 8 inches, and we have 2 of those of each of these. So we've got Hello Darling and You and Me. Adhere those onto the front and back cover after you round all 4 corners. And then decorate with stickers and ephemera. Step 28, we're going to take Oh Darling, and we are going to cut out 4 pieces that are going to be 3 5/8 by 7 inches, and then we're going to turn them into our little pocket covers. So to do that, we want to take those, and we're going to round the corners on 2 of them in the bottom right and 2 of them on the bottom left. Then with a ruler, we are going to mark from the top left-hand side 7/8 of an inch over. And from the bottom right, we're going to mark up from 2, we're going to mark up at 2 3/8 of an inch. And then we're going to cut those on a diagonal. So put my mark on the top and my mark on the bottom on my blade, and then go ahead and slice. And then we're going to grab our first notebook and just do a little test to see how everything is fitting. Just have a little bit of a better fit. I'm just going to cut off about 1/8 of an inch from the top as well on this one. Perfect. You'll repeat that step again, so you have 2 that look like this, and then you will do a very similar step except for measuring from the top left. You're going to measure from the top right 7/8 of an inch from the top, and then do the same process, so you'll have 2 that look like this. Find these 4 stickers and these 4 ephemera pieces, and we'll decorate these. Decorate those. Step 31, we've cut out 2 Romantic Reverie papers that are 3 7/8 of an inch by 8 inches. And then 2 of the P.S. I Love You B-sides that are 3 7/8 of an inch by 8 inches. And we've rounded all 4 of those corners. All right, so I've taken my 2 dark notebooks and I've added my papers and adhered those inside. I did get a little wild with my liquid adhesive, and you can see I tore up this page a little bit. So I'm just going to take the scrap border I had left over and I rounded this bottom corner, and I'm going to just measure this to fit. I'll just adhere this down to my page to cover up my little blemish. always fun to play with those leftover bits and pieces, just adding some extra flair to your projects. And then I have this leftover ephemera piece. I just added a line of adhesive on the back side here so I can tuck something in underneath there if I want. And now I have fixed that up and it looks great. Step 32 just has you taking a sticker to decorate up your first page. Of course, you can just stuff your extra leftover stickers and ephemera pieces in your travel album. You could put a little baggie in there with those or just stuff them in a pocket. So when you're filling up your travel albums or your journals, you can have those on the ready to go to decorate up. Step 34, we're going to take you and me and we're going to make 2 more of these diagonal pockets. These again are been cut to 3 5/8 by 7 inches. And then we have Sent with Love, and we've cut these 2 pieces to be 3 7/8 by 8 inches and then rounded all 4 corners. Go ahead and adhere those papers in and then add some embellishments. So all we have left to do is tuck our little journals back into place. Of course, with those leftovers, you could always add another little insert to tuck into this extra little rubber band here. We created an album with our Let It Be paper collection that has a really fun folio if you're looking for a tutorial on something to create for that extra rubber band. But how cute is this travel album? It's ready to pack in all your memories, add your photos in here, and then slide it into your keepsake shadow box. We hope that you enjoyed creating this fun project with us, and we'd love to see your projects, so go ahead and share them with us on Instagram using the graphic45 hashtag. And if you're looking for more great tutorials like this one or project ideas, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload a project like this one. We thank you so much for joining us, and as always, happy paper crafting.